Prototype cars are something we see a whole lot of each and every year. Some are just testers for what is to come, whilst others are proof of a concept for future design. Recently, Cadillac came out with a new LMDh prototype, and it looks insane. They are now planning a few cars for a 24-hour showcase. So stay tuned to today's video as we discuss everything you need to know. First up, what is going on? The framework for Cadillac's next bit plan has been laid out by GM Sports Car Racing Program Manager Laura Klauser. This is the twin campaign for the WEC and IMSA SportsCar Championships. This was all blurted out just before the first official images of the LMDh prototype were released to the public. She revealed an intent for Cadillac to bring more cars to Le Mans alongside a full-season single entry in the WEC. Asked how many entries it intends to field in the double points round of the WEC next June, Klauser replied, "We will see what the Automobile Club de l'Ouest, the race organizer, will allow. You have to be invited to Le Mans, you don't choose to come." Klauser also confirmed Cadillac's intent to have two full-season LMDhs in IMSA in North America next year, but she refused to confirm how the programs would be shared out between the Chip Ganassi Racing and Action Express Racing squads, who were confirmed as the factory teams for the LMDh program last August. That will be announced at a later date, said Klauser. Klauser also sadly refused to comment about another thing. Interviewers wanted confirmation that this new engine at 5.5 liters was normally aspirated, but she refused to confirm the speculation. The Cadillac revealed on Thursday was not a runner, but Klauser explained that the body surfaces were derived from the LMDh's aerodynamic program. "This is what the race car looked like when we snapped the chalk line to build the car we showed today," she explained. "We have been iterating since, and there will be changes as we begin to test and develop, but we believe it will be small tweaks, not big changes." It was suggested that the first tests are going to begin in just a month or so, which is incredibly exciting. These tests are going to take feedback from the drivers, and designs will be changed according to their ideas. The drivers testing the car are some of the biggest and best drivers in the Cadillac roster, and it's looking really exciting. The car industry is just changing all the time, from new electric cars to these insane proofs of concept prototypes that push the future forward. Things are changing with all this new technology and the new advances we are making every year. Soon enough, cars are going to be fully electric all around the globe, and every town and small location in the world will have some form of electric car charger. What do you think about all of this? Let us know down in the comments section below. Also, tell us how you feel about this new prototype. And now, stay tuned for some more car news from the last few weeks. Next, what effect do electric cars have on the environment? As we move into the future of vehicles, more and more people are asking about how clean these new electric cars really are for the environment. It's known that current petrol and diesel cars and vehicles aren't good for the environment at all. In fact, it's been said that in the next 10 years or so, diesel cars will be almost extinct from many roads across the world, and everyone will be close to having electric cars. The huge benefit right now to electric cars is the contribution they make to small towns and cities. They improve the air quality in these areas as less gas is being pumped out into the air and destroying its overall quality. Pure electric cars, of course, produce no emissions whilst driving on the roads, meaning that they don't contribute to the air pollution unlike normal gas vehicles. Despite the product itself not affecting the environment as it uses no gas, the production of said vehicles is what uses so much energy. However, when looking deeper into how these cars are produced compared to other gas cars, the battery is the only thing that affects the environment, and it's a much greener process than an actual gas car. This is because the emissions are created over the car's lifetime, not at the point of production. Though the worst part about production is the creation of the electric car as it affects the environment, the process is slowly becoming better and better for the environment as technology is advancing for the greater good. It looks like more than a third of the overall CO2 emissions from electric cars come from the actual process of creating the car itself and not from driving it around, unlike other gas-powered vehicles. Another great thing about electric cars is their ability to reuse and recycle older batteries from previous cars. This is something that many companies are of course looking deeper into and trying to make work even better than it does right now. Their goal is that one day we can have a battery in our home that can store our own energy for our own needs. A universal battery for almost everything and anything you will need. What a cool thing to look forward to. Finally, is the dawn of flying cars finally upon us? Flying cars are something that people have wanted for decades now. Films like Back to the Future and Blade Runner guessed that we would have flying cars by the year 2020. Of course, that didn't happen, but it makes you wonder just how close we are to getting a form of flying car. Over the last decade or so, cars have been changing. Gone are the days of a diesel car flooding the air with fumes and destroying the atmosphere. Whilst those cars still exist, the new thing is of course electric vehicles. The days of gas, petrol, and diesel cars are moving away, and we are entering a time where most people will have either a full electric vehicle or hybrid. 2022 is definitely the transition period of this trend, as many companies are switching to creating purely electric cars for the sake of money and the environment. Tesla are one of the biggest car companies in the world, and they are making strides. Just in the last 10 years alone, Teslas have created some of the best cars in the world, and they are all electric. Elon Musk himself has promised lower emissions from the company and vehicles that will run off a brand new solar-powered battery they are producing at the moment. All this talk of electric cars and the future of vehicles sparked a thought in many online. Just how far are we from flying cars, and what would it take for us to actually have them? Well, the first step right now is hybrid flying cars. The main concerns are safety and the fact that many places aren't suited for flying objects. Look at New York, for example. There is no way in its current state that a flying car highway would work, even if we suddenly achieved the technology. Currently, there are some big investors around the world trying to create these hybrid cars that can ride on the highway but also fly in the air when they want to. Before we get anything close to flying cars in cities and even in rural areas, there needs to be some form of flight control. Atkins is creating something that should prove very useful whenever flying cars come around. They are trying to make a fully automated flying system that controls air traffic. It's a fully autonomous system that can communicate with each and every aircraft in a certain space and control what they're doing. It's like a traffic light system mixed with the control center that airplanes have. This isn't going to release anytime soon, of course, but they're just getting the technology ready for when the day comes. So overall, it doesn't seem like we're getting flying cars anytime soon. But the dream isn't squished just yet. The technology is viable, and it could feasibly happen if the timing was right. Sadly, it's not just a case of creating flying cars and setting them out into the world. There is so much prep around the globe needed before these things can hit the streets. The entire world structure of cities and towns need to be adapted and changed to fit these new vehicles. We aren't even at the stage where every area in the world has electric charging stations, so it's going to take much longer for these flying cars to hit the world. On the upside, many companies are creating the technology to make this all work when the day comes, so it's a great thing to look forward to. What did you think about all of this? The advent of flying cars might be a few decades away, but at least it should be a reality, unlike those sci-fi films we all watch. And that's the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know down in the comments section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye!